Hey there, Santas and Elves. Rusty Miner coming at you with a summary video on my knife dye job. So, we're going to take a look at this stuff in the daylight. We are looking at the Harnds Knight, and that is a GRN handle. I put that in this RIT dye all-purpose dye. This was a pearl gray, and I used way too much of the bottle. I used like 6, 7, 8 ounces. I also did my rat in there. That's why we're not getting, I was kind of going for a flat gray, kind of like what my sweatshirt looks like, what the bottle was showing. And so that's also nylon. However, did learn that the all-purpose dye will do G10. This is my Tangram Orion. The Tangram had some interesting different colors underneath, and I think that they're coming through. So kind of like the way this turned out. They do sell a Tangram in black, and as well as the Harnds, well, all of them, but this one is a little bit different than the Tangram. And the Harnds has a little shine to it, so that's kind of cool. If I would have used way less dye, I would have gotten a much better results. I did 2 cups of dye, 1 cup of water, or 1 cup of dye, 2 cups of water. Oh, maybe like a 1/4 cup of vinegar. Boiled it, got it to roll and boil, put these in there, and didn't take long. I was multitasking, but it probably would have made a difference because it was dark. The dye was dark. I'll show you the other knives here in just a second. Okay, so on this one, I used something called Dye More, which is synthetic, and I used a frost gray because I wanted to get this knife gray. I was hoping I could get the front to be close to the back, but it was brown already. Ended up with a purplish color. So I don't know. I'm not unhappy, but it didn't do what I wanted. So then, kind of video that started all this was the Eafengrow, and I thought I would do a fade job on this. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what this, the frost gray. I think that's a real nice color. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then I tried to fade it, and it did fade a little, because then I went and I added some of a graphite. I'll go over that at the end of this video. Graphite color, so it was half and half, and soaked this part, and then I went all in the graphite on this. Interesting thing happened. I didn't take the liner off on this one. I did take the knife apart. I didn't take the liner off and take a peek at what that liner did. Almost turned purple, and when you flip it over, it's kind of purple on that side. So that's what we're looking at there. And I left the pocket clip on too. They're supposed to be stainless, but I actually don't mind how that turned out. Rather than have a shiny pocket clip, I'll settle for that. So that kind of worked out to my advantage. Alright, 2 more bikes, or 2 more knives up next. Okay, up next are the Ganzos, and continuing with the dye job, this one got put in graphite dye more, so with synthetic. I left the backspacer out, and you remember it was, the whole thing was the color of this, so I wasn't sure what to expect because that green's a pretty dark green, and if I covered it with graphite, figured I might get black. It kind of did a brown, but we did a blade mod on this, and I wanted to show that to you guys in the sunlight. About 15 minutes in that ferric chloride acid, and then I did a stone wash. So check those videos out if you guys are interested in doing that. Still calling it my Frankenstein. I can't tell if I like it or if it's just ugly. So now do like the G10 on this, so I didn't mess with it. And I did a lighter stone wash, acid wash. Less time in the acid here and a little bit less knocking in the stone wash. And that did keep the Firebird logo visible. Remember on the other one the Firebird's chewed up. So that's what we're looking at there. And I'll show you why I did that. So if you remember, part of my kookiness, I like to pair knives, and the Ganzo I wanted to pair with the Harnds here, and it did not have a darkened blade. It was a good looking knife with the shiny blade, but that's where I decided to take this knife here, guys. So my collection, that's how I wanted it to go, and I think I'm happy.